There are 3 enclosed malls in Paramus, New Jersey: State Plaza, Bergen Town Center, and Paramus Park Mall. But did you know there used to be a 4th one? The strip mall that you see behind me is the former Fashion Center. Now, this was an enclosed mall. It opened up in 1967, and in the early 2000s, they started the process of demalling it, converting it into the strip mall that you see today. We're going to go take a walk around this and see what remains of the original 1967 enclosed mall, because you can still see some signs that this used to be a mall, and it's kind of interesting. So come with me and explore Fashion Center. So over here we have a Best Buy, we have an Applebee's, and a couple more front-facing stores. Now, that building down at the end there is a former Lord & Taylor, and that's been sitting vacant since 2020. I believe it was 2020 they all closed down. And now over here, this building, this is a former department store. It was originally a B. Altman, and then they later split it up into like a multi-level store. It had Bed Bath & Beyond, Bye Bye Baby, and I think there's a TJ Maxx still in it. But just look at this building. You can see that this is a vintage department store just by looking at that. And look at those sort of like oblong shaped windows up there. And this big glass atrium. Yeah, there's no mistaking it. This is an old vintage department store. Now let's take a walk and see what's inside it. I don't know how much of the original department store remains. I believe it was most of it's gone now. They converted it into a multi-level store. But we'll take a look inside and see anyway. Some kind of alarm going on. Sorry about that noise. But looking here at this atrium, that's all for the elevator shaft. And now if we walk inside here, this space on the ground level, this was originally a Bed Bath & Beyond. And I want to say that that closed around 2020-ish. But if you look all the way on the other side, it actually has another entrance on the other side of the building. And that's something you would have only ever seen if this was formerly an enclosed mall. If this were just a front-facing strip mall, you wouldn't have a second entrance there. And we do have these escalators that take us up to the second level. I don't think these are original. I think these were very likely added after they converted this thing. But still, it's still a strange setup for, as having like TJ Maxx, Bed Bath & Beyond type stores here, having them split up like this. And up here is Bye Bye Baby, but I believe that's closed. We can walk up this dead escalator. I think it's just gated off. Now, I would be very curious to see if you'd be able to see out those sort of oblong old school windows that face out onto the parking lot. I don't know. Yeah, we're not going to be able to find out. It's all closed up here. Yeah, now that I look at it, it looks like those windows are kind of blocked out. Yeah, that's a shame. Those are really cool looking. Alright, so we're driving up this ramp that'll actually take me to parking up on the roof of the building, believe it or not. And look at these old school lampposts here. These 1960s globe lights. Look at that. Yeah, those are old school. And here we can get another look at the former B. Altman department store. And look at these. How cool are those? Yeah, and up here you can see this sort of little pop-out window, which must have been part of the original department store. I don't know if they used that for anything after they demalled it. But here we are now, actually on top of the building. Yeah, and here we can get another view of these cool diamond-shaped windows. And doesn't this look like a mall anchor, basically? I mean, it's what it used to be, so kind of interesting to see just how they tried to repurpose this, kind of take the mall out of the mall, even though it still feels like the mall. And let's take a look at these lampposts, because these are awesome. I'm glad they left these here. Definitely some vintage style still left. Yeah, and so they're down to just a TJ Maxx inside this building. So it's going to be probably hard to find new tenants to come in here. I don't know if they're going to be able to do it. I'm not sure who owns this shopping center. But it's seen better days. Yeah, so right now we're standing above the Best Buy. And that's the big Best Buy yellow tag sign. Down that way is the old Lord & Taylor, and we'll get a closer look at that in just a moment. Take a look at this old fashion center signboard here. And it's completely blank, but it still has the name of the mall on here. Wonder how long that's just been sitting there for. And just these planters here, just randomly placed next to the HVAC units. Okay, and here we are at the former Lord & Taylor. And this building has been sitting vacant for several years now. But just look at this vintage architecture on it. Oh man, that is so cool. What a shame that this is closed. Let's see if we can get ourselves a look inside at the old Lord & Taylor. This trash can. It doesn't look like we can see inside. There's too much of a glare. Just a beautiful building. They don't make them like this anymore. Like, there are no stores today that have interesting features, unique architecture. There's nothing like that anymore. It's all just very boring, very utilitarian. No flair, no style, no design. But I guess that's just how things go. Looks like they're doing some landscaping. Looks like they've trimmed up these trees a bunch. So now I heard they had a fixture sale here. I couldn't make it to it, but I wanted to. Wanted to come see inside. Unfortunately, I had something else going on and I couldn't get to it. Look at this lamppost here. Another old school lamppost with those globe lights. Very vintage. Look at this place. I don't know how well you can see, but you can see up in there. Up on that second floor, you can see some doors and things. This is crazy. Yeah, you can see like a little balcony up top there. Here we can see the Lord & Taylor label scar. Pretty clear label scar right there. More of these old school lampposts here in the parking lot. Oh, so this has been rezoned as office and medical space. So maybe something else is going to come in here, but it won't be a department store or anything like that. Let's head over to this entrance, see what's happening over here. Oh, so they have a forklift over here, so they are working on this place. Look up top there. Do you see those windows on the second level? Lots of unique features here in this building. And this is where they would have had some displays up here. Oh, look at the lighting fixtures. It's a really beautiful building. I guess I'm glad it's going to be reused for something and not completely demolished. But yeah, Lord and Taylor, it's no more. I guess this must have been where they had like merchandise pickup. I don't know, did they do merchandise pickup at Lord & Taylor? I don't know, I think that was more of a Sears thing. But look at these columns with the marble tile on that. Fancy. They spared no expense at Lord & Taylor. Yeah, and let's see what's happening here. It's like a little file cabinet down there. Yeah, and it's a little too hard to see. There's just too much of a glare, unfortunately. But look at this window. Looks like people were trying to get in, smash their way in. Yep, one of the last old school department stores here. Now, I actually remember coming to this one when it was still open and going inside. And it was just, you know, it was a typical Lord & Taylor store. If you happen to remember what those used to look like, that was the vibe there. Nothing too remarkable about it. But now it is a bando. So here we are on the back side of the mall. This space, I believe, used to be a World Market, but it looks like they're actually updating. It looks like they may be putting something new in there. I'm not sure. It's hard to say. And now over here, this used to be Amazon Fresh, which was Amazon's attempt at having a grocery store. And it was kind of a dystopian thing. You'd put the food in your cart and just walk out the door, and it would instantly charge you for everything you put in your cart, which I guess just didn't make people very comfortable, and quite honestly, I don't blame them. But before it was Amazon Fresh, it was a store called Fairway Market, and it was an awesome, awesome grocery store. I don't know if there's any of those left. There was a couple in Jersey, and I think they all closed, but they just had an amazing selection of food, all kinds of artisan stuff. It was great. If you remember Fairway Market, let me know down in the comments below, because I miss that place a lot and I wish it would come back. And here we have the other side of the Best Buy. Again, kind of indicating that this was the mall concourse in this whole section, because it has like two entrances, one on each side, something you wouldn't see in a normal strip mall Best Buy. And over here, we can just really see some of the original mall architecture. This is where the former B. Altman was, and this is sort of like the parking deck up above it. And just look at this vintage architecture here. I guess you would call this brutalist, but just look at those concrete supports and those globe lamps. It's really cool that they left so much of the old features of this place behind here, that they didn't completely change it up. And this is the old Bed Bath & Beyond. I miss Bed Bath & Beyond. I miss the Harmon section of it specifically, because I could come and get all my bathroom stuff in one spot, and it was pretty cheap. But it's all gone. Like so many other things that are disappearing. But I do what I can to preserve the memories of them. Let's just look at these globe lights a little bit more. Something going on out on the main road. This old parking bench. Oh, and look at the pebble finish here. That's another vintage touch. Definitely a 60s throwback. And look at the little shell tiles up here. This is a very mall geeky type video. Like, this is the type of stuff I'm interested in, and if you're into it too, then you are a mall geek just like me. And I want to thank you for being here. Yeah, and we can walk out here, and this was the ramp that we drove up earlier in the video. And this is the old loading dock here. So to my fellow mall geeks and dead retail enthusiasts, I just want to thank you for watching the video. If you liked it, please give me a like and subscribe to see me on more adventures in the future. If you'd like to support the channel, consider becoming a channel member or check out my Patreon page where I have exclusive videos. Thank you for watching the video, and I will see you in the next one.